When you think about starting with DRM, one of the first questions you ask yourself is, why would I start doing this? And the major reason to do this is that you are seeking to diversify your sources of income. And maybe you have already learned in your daily realities that getting all your income from one source or just a few sources sets you in quite a big risk. Because if one of those sources goes down in a major way, then your entire income goes down, and the projects that you want to develop and want to implement will possibly not take place. So therefore, there is an important reason for you to try and diversify your income and spread them over a number of different sources. In the previous screen, you looked at your own income pattern, or as we would call it in RM, your funding mix. And it is interesting and important to know what your funding mix looks like. You have seen that there are several sources of income and also different levels. You have the international level, where sources can come from abroad. You have the national level and the domestic or regional level. And in each of those levels, money can come from different sources. So looking at the domestic level, it can come from individual donations, individual donors who support you with one-off donations or ongoing donations, local companies, volunteers who give you their time. On the national level, you can receive income through the government, through corporations, again through individuals, and of course there may be foundations and NGOs who support your work. And at the international level, it may be governments again, but then from abroad, from other countries. It may be foundations again, international foundations and NGOs, and it can even be supranational sources, like from the World Bank, for instance, or from the EU. So finding the right funding mix is a really key goal that you have. So for every organization, the right balance can be slightly different. But what you could generally say is that you try and minimize your risks, and you do that by avoiding to be over-dependent on one income source. So if you have like 70% coming from one source of income, then you know that you are in a bigger risk than when you have spread your income over different sources. So balancing those sources is an important strategy to mitigate your risks for the future and to secure a solid and healthy foundation for your funding income in the future.